Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Goshiyari orders to hold floor test in the State Assembly tomorrow. Supreme Court to hear this evening the Shiv Sena plea challenging the Governor's direction. Union Home Ministry directs National Investigation Agency to take over the investigation in the Udaipur brutal murder. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to brief the media this afternoon on the deliberations of the 47th Gst Council Meeting. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flags off first batch of Amarnath pilgrims for Kashmir Valley from Bhagwati Nagar base camp in Jammu. Centre advises states reporting surge in COVID cases to remain cautious and step up vigil against the pandemic. Busan University of Foreign Studies establishes India Centre for Promotion of India-focused activities in the university. NATO member Turkey agrees to support Sweden and Finland's membership of the alliance. In Malaysia Open Badminton, PV Sindhu and P. Kashyap advanced to the pre-quarterfinals in the singles category. And in Wimbledon Tennis tournament, Novak Djokovic, Andy Murray and Emma Raducanu to play their second round singles matches today. Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Goshiyari has directed the state government to conduct a floor test in the State Assembly tomorrow. The governor's direction to the Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray came soon after leader of opposition Devendra Fadnavis-led delegation met him last night and apprised him about the current political situation. Mr. Fadnavis in his letter said the Uddhav Thackeray-led government is in minority as 39 Shiv Sena MLAs are outside the state and do not want alliance with NCP and Congress. The governor in his letter said the political scenario unfolding in Maharashtra paints a very disturbing picture. He cited the desire of the 39 Shiv Sena MLAs who are in the Eknath Shinde camp to exit the Mahavikas Aghadi government. The governor has asked the Vidhan Bhavan Secretariat to provide adequate deployment of security outside and inside the Vidhan Bhavan to maintain the sanctity of the voting process and also to preempt any law and order situation which may arise. A report from our correspondent.
Referring to the letter submitted by Devendra Fadnavis, which mentions that the Chief Minister has lost the majority, the Governor has said that as a constitutional head of the state, he must ensure that the government functions with the support and confidence of the House. The Governor's letter says that a special session of the Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha shall be summoned tomorrow at 11 am. It says that in order to ensure a fair and free voting process, it shall be conducted by asking members to rise in their seats for the purpose of counting votes are contemplated under the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly rules. Also, he has asked for the proceedings to be videographed. Meanwhile, Deepak Kesarkar, leader from the Eknath Shinde faction, said that they will be reaching Mumbai tomorrow. He said all the 39 MLAs will face the fight unitedly and will remain present for the floor test. He said the faction led by Shinde has the support of total 51 MLAs. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Meanwhile, the embattled Shiv Sena has approached the Supreme Court challenging the governor's direction for the floor test tomorrow. A petition in this regard was filed by Sena Chief Whip Sunil Prabhu. Sena Counsel Abhishek Manu Singhvi requested the Supreme Court for urgent listing of the petition. The hearing will take place at 5 p.m. today. The Home Ministry has directed the National Investigation Agency to take over the investigation of the brutal murder in Udaipur yesterday. In a tweet, the ministry said the involvement of any organization and international links will be thoroughly investigated. Earlier, a 4-member Special Investigation Team, SIT, was formed under the supervision of Additional Director General of Police, ATS Ashok Rathod, to investigate the murder. 2 accused of the murder were arrested last evening from Rajsamand. Our correspondent reports that the situation is reported to be tense in the city. Curfew has been imposed in 7 police station areas. Last evening, Chief Secretary Usha Sharma chaired a high-level meeting and ordered to maintain law and order. More from our Jaipur correspondent.
Curfew has been imposed in Udaipur city in view of the situation. 4 IPS officers, 30 RPS officers and 600 police personnel have been deployed there. Internet services have been suspended for next 24 hours and Section 144 have been imposed in the entire state. Leaves of police and administration officials have been cancelled till further orders. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, senior officials and religious leaders have appealed to maintain peace and harmony. Jitendra Dwivedi, EIR News, Jaipur.
Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has not denied involvement of any national and international radical organization in this incident. Talking to the media in Jodhpur this morning, Mr. Gehlot said it is not a minor incident. Such an event cannot happen without a relationship with the radical element at the national and international level. He said that investigation has been initiated in this direction. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot is holding a high-level meeting in Jaipur today regarding the law and order situation. The BJP today came down heavily on the Congress government in Rajasthan over the Udaipur killing incident. Briefing media in New Delhi, party spokesman Rajyavardhan Singh Rathod described it as a terror incident and alleged that the state government is responsible for such an incident. He said this is not an isolated incident in itself and such incidents are happening again and again in Rajasthan. He also said there is a feeling of insecurity among the people in Rajasthan, but it is very important to maintain a peaceful and harmonious environment. The BJP spokesman accused the Congress of doing appeasement politics in the state.
इससे हर समाज में आक्रोश है, गुस्सा है। राजस्थान के अंदर साधारण लोगों में असुरक्षा की भावना भी है। गुस्सा जायज है, लेकिन संविधान के तहत, देश के कानून के तहत और पीसफुल तरीके को पालन करना, शांतिपूर्ण सौहार्द बनाकर कार्रवाई करना ये बहुत जरूरी है।
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will brief the media today about the deliberations of the 47th Gst Council Meeting being held in Chandigarh. The interim report on rate rationalization submitted by the group of ministers was accepted by the Gst Council yesterday. Ms. Sitharaman is chairing the two-day meeting, which was attended by representatives of all states and union territories. The state government has asked for continuation of GST compensation after the 30th of June and are hopeful of a positive response on their request. The centre has advised caution and continuous alertness to states reporting a surge in COVID cases during the past few weeks and to step up vigil against the pandemic. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan reviewed the status of COVID situation through a video conference with 14 such states yesterday. The states are reporting high number of cases on a week-to-week basis, combined with low numbers of COVID tests and below average COVID vaccination. Member Health Niti Aayog Dr. Vinod Paul was also present at the meeting. He advised states that the major action point is to focus on strengthening proactive surveillance as per the revised surveillance strategy issued by the Union Health Ministry on the 9th of June. He said routine surveillance constitutes the steel framework of COVID response and management strategy. The states were also strongly advised to strictly monitor profile of admitted COVID patients and report the clinical manifestation to the Health Ministry.
India's COVID vaccination coverage has exceeded 197 crore 46 lakh so far. Vaccination for the age group of 12 to 14 years was started on the 16th of March. So far, more than 3 crore 65 lakh adolescents have been administered with the first dose of vaccine. Similarly, the COVID precaution dose administration for age group of 18 to 59 years also started from the 10th of April onwards. Meanwhile, 14,506 new cases were reported in the country in the last 24 hours and 11,574 patients recovered during the same period. India's active caseload currently stands at 99,602 and recovery rate stands at 98.56%. Kerala reported 4,459 fresh COVID cases and 17 deaths yesterday, taking the total number of active cases in the state to 27,991. Ernakulam and Thiruvananthapuram districts reported the highest spike with more than 1,000 new cases yesterday. In view of the rising cases, Kerala government made wearing of masks mandatory in public places, gatherings and workplaces.
Attorney General K.K. Venugopal has accepted the centre's request to continue for 3 more months as the main legal advisor to the government. The eminent lawyer and constitutional law expert was first appointed as Attorney General on the 1st of July 2017, succeeding Mukul Rohatgi, who was the Attorney General from June 2014 to June 2017. Mr. Venugopal was reappointed to the post for an approved tenure up to 30th of June 2022. The notification for reappointment says Mr. Venugopal was not willing to continue because of personal reasons, but agreed to continue for 3 months on central government's request. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Goshiyari orders to hold floor test in the State Assembly tomorrow. Supreme Court to hear this evening the Shiva Sena plea challenging the governor's direction. Union Home Ministry directs National Investigation Agency to take over the investigation in the Udaipur brutal murder. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to brief the media this afternoon on the deliberations of the 47th Gst Council Meeting. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flags off first batch of Amarnath pilgrims for Kashmir Valley from Bhagwati Nagar base camp in Jammu. Centre advises states reporting surge in COVID cases to remain cautious and step up vigil against the pandemic. Busan University of Foreign Studies establishes India Centre for promotion of India-focused activities in the university. NATO member Turkey agrees to support Sweden and Finland's membership of the alliance. In Malaysia Open Badminton, PV Sindhu and P. Kashyap advanced to the pre-quarterfinals in the singles category. And in Wimbledon Tennis tournament, Novak Djokovic, Andy Murray and Emma Raducanu to play their second round singles matches today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
क्या आप कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स की तैयारी कर रहे हैं? आपके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो लाया है प्रोग्राम अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जहां हमें आप प्रश्न भेजते हैं व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करते हैं abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे एक्सपर्ट देते हैं आपके प्रश्नों के उत्तर हर शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे। इस वर्ग का विषय है आधुनिक इतिहास यानी कि मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री और आपके सवाल प्राप्त करने की अंतिम तारीख 29 जून। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
बर्फ से ढके पहाड़,
हवा के साथ झूमते चीड़ चिनार,
झीलों पर तैरते शिकारे,
हरी भरी घाटियों के दिलकश नजारे।
आकाशवाणी समाचार आपके लिए लेकर आया है जम्मू कश्मीर विशेष श्रृंखला एक नई सुबह।
हम बात करते हैं विकास की, निवेश की,
पर्यटन की, संस्कृति की
और रोज हो रहे बदलावों की। FM गोल्ड पर सुनिए हर शुक्रवार रात 9:15 पर आकाशवाणी समाचार की विशेष प्रस्तुति
जम्मू कश्मीर एक नई सुबह।
Welcome back to the Midday News. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the first batch of Sri Amarnath Ji pilgrims from the base camp of Bhagwati Nagar, Jammu, in the wee hours today. The yatra will commence tomorrow and culminate on Shravan Purnima, the 11th of August. LG Sinha has prayed for peace, prosperity and a safe spiritual journey for all the pilgrims visiting the holy cave shrine. More from our correspondent.
The Yatris were very enthusiastic for onward journey to the Pahalgam and Baltal base camps in Kashmir, where they will leave for cave shrine of Amarnath tomorrow. The scene in and around the base camp, lodging centers, registration and token counters was upbeat, and Yatris were very happy over the arrangements made by the administration. Unprecedented multi-tier security measures have been made for this year's Yatra. Police have issued special stickers for vehicles ferrying pilgrims towards the cave shrine. As many as 5,000 security personnel have been deployed in the Jammu city, around 5 registration centers, 3 token centers and 32 lodging centers. The Yatra will commence from Nunwan and Baltal routes tomorrow. Around 3 lakh pilgrims have registered so far for the Yatra. Nasir Rathir, AR News, Jammu.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Bhimavaram town in West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh on the 4th of July to participate in the 125th birth anniversary celebration of freedom fighter Alluri Sita Raju. The Prime Minister will unveil the statue of Sita Raju on the occasion. Alluri Sita Raju was a revolutionary who waged an armed campaign against the British rule. He opposed the British in response to the 1882 Madras Forest Act, which restricted free movement of tribals in their forest habitats and prevented them from practicing their traditional form of agriculture known as Podu.
Busan University of Foreign Studies, BUFS, has established an Inter-Center for promotion of India-focused activities in the university. The center was inaugurated on Monday. According to a note from the Indian Embassy in Seoul, the center will act as a nodal point for India-related events in Busan and serve as a ready resource for students interested in India and to expand academic and cultural cooperation with the university. The inaugural ceremony was attended by the President of Busan University of Foreign Studies, India's Ambassador to South Korea, and Ambassador for International Relations, Busan City Government, among others. An MOU was also signed between Busan University and Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center, Embassy of India in Seoul, to promote cooperation in the field of education and cultural exchange. NATO member Turkey has agreed to support Sweden and Finland's membership of the alliance. It had initially opposed the Nordic countries' bids to join the organization. In a statement, NATO said a trilateral deal has been reached at a meeting between Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Finland's President Sauli Niinisto, and Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson in the Spanish capital, Madrid. Foreign ministers from the three countries signed a joint security pact that addressed Turkey's concerns. NATO chief Hans Stoltenberg said Sweden agreed to step up its work on Turkish extradition request of suspected militants. He said the two Nordic nations will also lift their restrictions on selling weapons to Turkey. Sweden and Finland had historically declined to seek NATO membership, partly because of mixed public opinion and caution around their security relationship with Russia. However, that dramatically changed after Russia launched a military operation on Ukraine in February.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember revolutionary freedom fighter Rajendranath Lahiri, who was born on the 29th of June 1901 in the Pabna area of present-day Bangladesh. Lahiri took part in the famous Kakori conspiracy alongside Ashfaqullah Khan, Ram Prasad Bismil and Roshan Singh Thakur.
Lahiri is regarded as a symbol of the Indian revolutionary movement's transformation. During the 1920s, the revolutionary movement saw a change from anti-British nationalism to socialism in terms of ideology and a shift towards atheism in terms of religious beliefs.
Lahiri constantly challenged the social and traditional customs of the society, so much so that he discarded the sacred thread that was considered integral to Brahmins. He opined that social prejudices were stumbling blocks in the path of progress and they had to be
revolutionary Sachindranath Sanyal while studying at the Banaras Hindu University. Seeing the fire, spirit and passion for freedom in Lahiri, Sanyal made him the editor of the magazine Bangavani and the coordinator and arms in charge for the Varanasi branch of the Anushilan Samiti. Under the inspiration of Sanyal, Lahiri became a member of the Hindustan Republican Association. On the 9th of August 1925, in what came to be known as the Kakori conspiracy case, Rajendranath Lahiri, along with Ramprasad Bismil, Ashfaqullah Khan and Thakur Roshan Singh, looted a train carrying government money near Lucknow. Lahiri stopped the train by pulling the chain in a second-class compartment. Lahiri and the other revolutionaries dispersed to different places after the operation.
After the Kakori incident, Lahiri and 8 other revolutionaries were sent to a bomb factory in Dakshineshwar to learn bomb making. It is said that a loud explosion in the course of their work alerted the police and got them all arrested. In what came to be known as the Dakshineshwar bomb case, Lahiri, the mastermind, was awarded a 10-year sentence at the cellular jail at Andamans.
However, once the trial for the Kakori train robbery began, Lahiri was identified as a co-conspirator and was transferred from the cellular jail to the Lucknow Central Jail. Here, he was tried along with the other revolutionaries. On the 17th of December 1927, Lahiri was hanged in the Gonda District Jail, Uttar Pradesh, 2 days before his specified execution date because the British authorities feared that the revolutionaries would attempt an escape.
हम न देखेंगे कल की बहारें तो क्या तुमको तो वो बहार
Lahiri's hanging stands out not just in revolutionary history, but also in the history of capital punishment, as it was for the first time that a death sentence was carried out ahead of schedule. AIR News salutes the great revolutionary freedom fighter.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Statistics and Program Implementation Ministry celebrated the 16th Statistics Day in New Delhi today. The main objective of the day is to create public awareness, especially among youngsters, on the role and importance of statistics in socio-economic planning and policy formulation for development of the country. The event, with the theme Data for Sustainable Development, is being celebrated to mark the birth anniversary of late Professor Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis in recognition of his valuable contribution in the field of economic planning and statistics. Statistics and Program Implementation Minister Rao Inderjeet Singh in his virtual address highlighted India's emerging capacities in data science. He said India is increasingly recognized globally for its prowess in scientific capabilities, and under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is amongst the front runners of scientific research and emerging disciplines. Mr. Rao also said data science is an essential part of statistics, which in turn helps in policy and decision-making effectively for sustainable development. Our correspondent reports that during the celebration of Statistics Day, various professionals were presented with the Professor P.C. Mahalanobis National Awards and Professor P.V. Sukhatme National Awards 2022.
Iran and the United States began indirect talks yesterday in Qatar aimed at finding a way to save Tehran's tattered nuclear deal with world powers. Iran's top nuclear negotiator Ali Bagheri Khani met with European Union official Enrique Mora in Doha. The U.S. Special Representative for Iran, Rob Malley, also arrived in Qatar on Monday night ahead of the talks. Qatar's foreign ministry issued a statement saying it welcomed hosting the talks. The External Affairs Ministry today said the remarks by United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, OHCHR, regarding legal action against Teesta Setalwad and 2 other persons are completely unwarranted. Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi said it constitutes an interference in India's independent judicial system. He said authorities in India act against violations of law strictly in accordance with established judicial processes. Mr. Bagchi said labeling such legal actions as persecution for activism is misleading and unacceptable.
In badminton, Olympic medalist PV Sindhu advanced to the pre-quarterfinals of Malaysia Open in Kuala Lumpur today. She beat Thailand's Pornpavi Chotwang 21-13, 21-17 to enter the second round. Parupalli Kashyap also progressed to the second round in the men's singles. He won his opening round match against South Korea's Hyo Kwang-hee 21-12, 21-17. However, Olympic bronze medalist Saina Nehwal lost to American Aris Wang 11-21, 17-21 in the first round. B. Sumit Reddy and Ashwini Ponnappa were also humbled by the duo of Robin Tabeling and Selina Piek of the Netherlands. The Indian pair lost 15-21, 21-19, 17-21. In Wimbledon Tennis today, Novak Djokovic of Serbia will play Australian Thanasi Kokkinakis in the second round of men's singles today. Andy Murray will face American John Isner. The matches will start at 6 p.m. Indian time. In women's singles, Britain's Emma Raducanu will face Caroline Garcia of France in the second round. The game will start at 6 p.m. Indian time. Meanwhile, American great Serena Williams lost to unseeded French Harmony Tan yesterday in her first singles match after a year. Serena went down 7-5, 1-6, 7-6, 10-7 to return to the same centre court where she had limped out injured last year to a rousing reception. It is here where she has won 7 of her 23 Grand Slam singles titles.
The Inter-Met Department has issued a red alert in view of the possibility of heavy rain in Nainital, Bageshwar and Pithoragarh, while an orange alert has been issued for rain at isolated places in the rest of the hilly districts of Uttarakhand. Rain continued at isolated places in Dehradun, Rudraprayag, Nainital and other districts this morning. The process of opening blocked rural motorways in Dehradun, Pauri, Bageshwar and Pithoragarh is going on. Normal life has been affected due to heavy rains in Kapkos of Bageshwar, and many motorways have been blocked along with the network in rural areas. The district administration has started assessing the damage caused by heavy rains. The water level of Saryu River has increased due to incessant rains in the district. In view of this, people living on the banks of the river have been advised to stay in safe places. The district magistrate has instructed state and national disaster response force along the Indo-Tibetan border police teams to be on alert mode. And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 29 and 41 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Minimum temperature was 26 and maximum will be 29 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have thunderstorm with rain. Temperature will hover between 28 and 34 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The minimum temperature was 28 while maximum will be 34 degrees Celsius. Visakhapatnam, Bengaluru, Hyderabad and Thiruvananthapuram will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. In the northeast, Guwahati and Imphal will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Gangtok will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain.
The Sensex and the Nifty were trading almost flat in the afternoon trade. Both stock indices added marginally amid volatility and negative global cues. The Sensex was trading above 53,150 points, while the Nifty was trading above 15,800 level. The Sensex added 12 points to trade at 53,173. The Nifty was also up 5 points to trade at 15,837 when reports last came in. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Goshiyari orders to hold floor test in the State Assembly tomorrow. Supreme Court to hear this evening the Shiv Sena plea challenging the Governor's direction. Union Home Ministry directs National Investigation Agency to take over the investigation in the Udaipur brutal murder. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to brief the media this afternoon on the deliberations of the 47th Gst Council Meeting. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flags off first batch of Amarnath pilgrims for Kashmir Valley from Bhagwati Nagar base camp in Jammu. Centre advises states reporting surge in COVID cases to remain cautious and step up vigil against the pandemic. Busan University of Foreign Studies establishes India Centre for promotion of India-focused activities in the university. NATO member Turkey agrees to support Sweden and Finland's membership of the alliance. In Malaysia Open Badminton, PV Sindhu and P. Kashyap advanced to pre-quarterfinals in the singles category, and in Wimbledon Tennis tournament, Novak Djokovic, Andy Murray and Emma Raducanu to play their second round singles matches today. And with that, we end the midday news.